Hi everybody, Heather Maeda. Thank you so much for allowing me to participate virtually. I'm sorry to not be at NACE this year. I'm sure everyone is having an amazing learning experience and certainly enjoying Vegas. So I want to thank Spellman and Johnson and Valerie for their support over the past 10 years, not only with the Rising Star Award, but just their overall support of career services in higher education. And we are lucky to have them in support of us, and I personally really appreciate all that they do. My career over the past 10 years and the benefits of being a rising star have really paid dividends in all that I've been able to participate in and to be a part of and certainly to accomplish. And so the Rising Star Award for me has really been somewhat of a game changer for me in my professional career. I would say the pivotal moment for me in realizing that career services was the industry that I was interested in devoting my life to was when I was in my graduate studies. I had the opportunity to do an assistantship with a professor, Dr. John Knopfsinger, who taught in the higher education leadership department, and he was also the vice president of institutional research and funding for the college. And as an assistant in his office, I drove him to DC a lot because his position, he had to go to DC and lobby for funds for the institution. So we spent a lot of time in the car driving back and forth from Harrisonburg to DC. And I would say that my time as a chauffeur was probably the best learning experience for me and really paved the way for me to enter a career in higher education and specifically career services. I learned more about myself, about higher education in general, about the support that students need to move forward in their decision making and certainly their career trajectories, and the guidance that they need in order to do that effectively. And I also learned the impact that a mentor or a career coach can have in making a difference in a student's lives. And Dr. John Knopfsinger certainly made a difference in my life, and I realized that I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to give back to other people like he was able to do to me. So I appreciate him as a faculty member in giving me the support that I needed at the time, and I've been really lucky to be able to do the same for other people in my profession, and I'll always be grateful for him for that experience. I would say that in looking at a time when I planned something that didn't necessarily turn out the way that I wanted it to, a mistake, right? So I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, way too many to count, and but in the end, it always turns out, maybe not the way that you expect it, but it turns out, and it's typically always turns out for the better. I remember one time I went into a presentation that I gave to the senior leaders at the institution that I was working at the time, and I was very optimistic about the presentation that I was going to give because we were talking about integrating academic advising and career services, and certainly this was a goal of mine, a strategic goal of mine across the institution. And I had the naive idea that everybody was going to be very excited about this idea that we had lobbied for kind of politically across campus, and so we were talking about it for the first time publicly in this presentation that I was giving. And I had the support of the president, which was great, and that provided me some confidence in going into the conversation. But the conversation didn't end up turning out at all the way that I anticipated, and it was quite contentious and quite uncomfortable. And I left the presentation certainly not feeling as confident as I did when I entered the presentation, and really nervous about this goal that we had as a center and how we were going to then rebound from this conversation to get the deans of the campus on board with this career advising and academic advising integration. There's a lot of politics across campus, as there always is. And we certainly rebounded from that, and it all worked out well. But at that moment, I could say that was probably not an outcome that I originally anticipated, and it was kind of uncomfortable, but everything turned out fine. And I guess I would say, in the end, don't give up on the goals that you have for your career services centers or for those populations that you serve, because there's always a way to reach the goal that you set for your center and your staff and your populations. And it might not necessarily be the goal that you originally thought of, but there is a way to do it in the end. So I hope everybody has an awesome time in Vegas, and I look forward to connecting with you all. If you're interested in reaching out, my email address is heather@careerinprogress.com. Would love to connect with you. Take care.